Welcome back, everyone, to the very last match of the finals week number 1 for the Mania 7 Key World Cup 2023. We're here with the 4th match. We've had 3 already, but here we have Malaysia versus Japan, the very last losers bracket match that we're seeing in this week. I'm Potassium F here, commentating alongside SurfChew85. How are you doing?
Hello. I just got finished eating my dinner tonight because we have quite an evening set before us. Japan winning earlier against the United States pretty handily, and Malaysia just narrowly getting through that match without going to tiebreaker against China last night. Really, lots of action that have happened like the past few hours.
Yeah, this has been a pretty crazy weekend so far with these matches, and both of these teams have had quite the journey to get here. Of course, this is a massive match for both of them. The winner of this match is going to be guaranteed that last podium spot, and the loser will end in 4th place. So this is quite a high-stakes match in that regard, and both of these teams, they've had quite a long journey to get here. Actually, Japan, as far as seeding is concerned, has pulled off 3 seeding upsets so far in this tournament alone.
Yeah, I mean, what did we have? Like, they had Indonesia back in the round of 16. They had the United States literally a few hours ago.
And it was also Spain as well, being seed number 6 that Japan managed to beat. So this is seed number 10 in Japan, making it all the way to top 4. And Malaysia, of course, being seed number 3 with an extremely strong showing just throughout the tournament in general, narrowly beating China just the other day. So here we are, the bans coming in, and it's going to be fairly familiar bans. Both teams banning the same map that they banned in their first match this weekend. Malaysia not wanting to deal with the Chord Jack map, and Japan not wanting to deal with that LN coordination pick.
Well, if there's anything though, like, both of these teams should be aware of what either team are capable of already, especially that this is their second match of the weekend. So, like, it's kind of though I guess it's probably not surprising that they're maintaining their same banning strategy here. Malaysia very aware of how capable Japan is on core jacks, and Japan just maybe wanted to stay safe and maybe think that the performance Malaysia had on LN2 last night against China was more of a fluke. I mean, we knew that there were a few issues that both Malaysian players had to fix during that time.
Yeah, and I definitely think that Japan not so comfortable on the LN as they are with the Rice. Japan have been a very strong Rice team overall, so I expect that to stay the same here. And Malaysia, of course, you know, with Chiwi and Neo going to be doing very well in the LN pick. So I do expect, just like what we see normally in the 4-Key World Cup classic matchup, Malaysia are going to be picking the LN maps in general. Japan, I would expect to stick with more of these Rice picks where they can.
Though, if anything, Japan has to be super wary of Malaysia's Rice capabilities as well, especially for Rice 2 and Rice 3, because like, especially if Chiwi is still going to be maintaining that same form they had last night. It might be pretty interesting to see what Japan has to reply for that. But anyways, they will be opening with I'm Kidding, which is a pick you usually don't expect to be an early pick.
You know, if I remember correctly, just a couple hours ago, I believe the USA picked this against Japan first pick just before their match. So interesting now, Japan being the ones to first pick it against Team Malaysia here. And maybe, as you said, because Malaysia are just such a strong team all around, with Chiwi pulling off some ridiculous scores, even in the finals week this week, that maybe Japan is trying to incite some of these misses out of Malaysia to try and win on the combo game on a pick like this. Very short map, very miss-prone with all of these technical patterns.
And here we go with I'm Kidding. Again, the first pick of this entire match. The primary technical pick in this pool, I mean, the background already says it's tech. Anyways, another thing, they might be looking into maybe abusing Neo just a tad bit here. And that really depends if Neo will be maintaining that same 4 as well from yesterday. Kiwi and Koichi having a character set mistakes. Neo and Koichi trading another set of misses. Malaysia with the early lead.
Yeah, a lot of misses from both sides so far, but the main story here is mostly, well, Japan keeps missing, and also the accuracy right now. Chiwi holding 99.4, Neo holding 98.8, both players well above Japan in terms of the accuracy.
I do mention that this is actually a super risky pick to have early on. I mean, like, yeah, we did see Malaysia lose this exact map against China yesterday, but like you have to be wary about the accuracies pretty much.
Yeah, tech picks first. It kind of is a double-edged sword. You do have that potential that your opponent is going to find some misses slip up on some of these patterns, but as we can see, the same can happen to Japan themselves, and they are tripping up a little bit more than Malaysia is on these tech patterns. Another miss coming in from Mayanjo Koichi. That's going to be Malaysia with quite a significant lead, and the map is already starting to wind down. Neo finding a miss now. That's going to help Japan out.
But the lead is still pretty sizable. If anything, Japan really needs to step up on that accuracy game pretty much, and also really limit those mistakes. Kiwi still holding on to what I think is still a full combo. It's just Kiwi being Kiwi at this point.
Yeah, no, Chiwi did miss very early on in the map, but since then it's been perfect. And that's going to be Malaysia taking a breakpoint really early on in the match. The accuracy being dominant from Malaysia's side here.
Now let's see what Malaysia is going to be putting up as their first pick, which we do presume will be LN.
Yeah, this is Chiwi difference right here. 981k, just so high above the rest of the players. The other three players all holding really strong, around 99%. But just that one outlier in Chiwi is enough to make the difference here. And it's going to be Malaysia actually going for the hybrids first.
Good way to do the first pick, I would say. Maybe trying to gauge whether they could start going on. Actually, no. Maybe going for the LNs. Maybe they think that it might not be safe to do it just like right off the bat. Maybe try to gauge what they could do and then just plan on what's coming up next. And yeah. Sana going in for Rain Lily here.
Yeah, and Sana's definitely been playing most of the kind of the hybrids and the LNs for Japan. But I think this pick in particular is kind of a pick in relation to the scores that are known from both these teams. Both teams actually played this one in their respective matches, and Malaysia did get the highest score overall. So a bit of knowledge there. Maybe Malaysia just not wanting to pick LN just yet, since Japan didn't really play any of the LN maps in the last match.
And here we go. We'll have to see whether let's just say Malaysia is able to show up with their consistency yet again. Like accuracy wise, they should be able to overpower Japan for the most part in these hybrid picks. It really depends if Japan is able to improve what they did against the US earlier today.
Neo finding the first miss. That's going to be advantage to Japan, but Mayanjo Koichi finding a trade miss right back. So back to Malaysia's side using this accuracy lead that they have. Chiwi once again at the top of the accuracy.
Malaysia immediately pulling ahead. Chiwi and Sana the only full combos left in this multiplayer room. Well, Koichi did have a few consecutive misses over there, and essentially Neo is pretty much well above in Koichi's accuracy here, and Sana trying to make sure that they get that advantage to their side. Koichi unfortunately though dropping their combo.
The combo drops have been fairly even. I think both sides have had just about the same number of combo drops, but we can see the accuracy department. Neo and Sana fairly similar accuracy, but Chiwi and Mayanjo Koichi, this is a big gap right now. Chiwi is still 99.71, and both Japanese players finding misses there.
That's a little bit unfortunate for Japan, but they have to keep their heads down and just keep playing. Koichi unfortunately finding yet another drop here. Chiwi and Neo doing well enough to maintain that lead on their side. Chiwi obviously being Chiwi here, just maintaining still that full high act full combo.
Neo finds a pretty messy miss.
That definitely messy indeed, but Insana kind of trading some of them.
Yeah, and the important part is Neo has kind of held combo for long enough, and this accuracy is still above both Japanese players. And Chiwi is increasing the accuracy 99.7. This is going to be 990k. This is 990k from Chiwi.
Yeah. 991 even.
Oh my god. And we were questioning just before, you know, if Chiwi is still in the form that he was before. I think he definitely is. That is a crazy score.
Well, you gotta just hand it to Chiwi. They're pretty decent at the game.
Yeah, they definitely know how to hit some of those notes. And, you know, Neo as well, managing to tie and even beat both of the Japanese players. So it's looking fairly strong right now as far as the match situation goes for Malaysia. Japan are going to have to try to look for a pick that they can gain some kind of advantage on. And it doesn't look like the hybrids are very good for them. So I assume they'll go back to one of these Rise picks. I think the Chord Stream might be the way to go, but no, they're going for Cross Soul.
Going for the mixed Rice pick here. Though it does make sense that they kind of want to avoid maybe the Chord Stream picks just for now. I mean, we saw what both Malaysia players are capable of on it.
Absolutely.
Lily coming in again for Japan here, which we are kind of expecting pretty much whenever we see these Rice picks come in.
Yeah, most of the time for Japan, it's been kind of Rain Lily and Ensana just switching out for each other, depending on whether it's Rice or LN for the most part. We do expect to see the same two players for Malaysia for pretty much every map here in the finals week.
We are seeing only Kiwi with no mirror mod here. Just for the information of everyone who was new to Osamania, the mirror mod just flips the playfield. Essentially flips the playfield, and there are no score multipliers for it.
Yeah, so it really doesn't change the difficulty at all. It's just sometimes you have a little bit of a mind block, or maybe some patterns just a little bit hard for one hand to deal with.
Anyways, as we do expect, Japan will be getting the early advantage here. Unfortunately, Koichi is saying otherwise, giving Malaysia the lead. Leo did trade, but it's a fairly clean drop though.
Well, now it's Neo and Lily both, Rain Lily both trading misses here. It's Chiwi that's the only one holding the full combo still, and that's going to give Malaysia a little bit of an advantage.
Fairly short pick as well, so Japan has to pick up the pace here if they want to keep up.
The accuracy on My Angel Koichi is not looking too good either. It is raising pretty quickly, so they should be able to get back up to that 99 to try and match Neo's accuracy here. But I mean, we don't really need to say too much, but Chiwi is still in another massive score. Neo finds a drop now. It's going to shrink this lead just a bit. My Angel Koichi trades.
Let's try not to mention that one player for the meantime, just so that we saw an awesome score. Anyways, Rain Lily trying to actually pretty much keeping up with the accuracy game as well with a 99.6. Neo finding yet another drop, and Koichi trading those. Actually, 2 consecutive misses from Koichi.
No, I actually don't believe this accuracy from Chiwi. I'm not even going to comment. We'll wait to see the score at the end, but
we'll wait.
A fairly large score advantage in My Angel Koichi and Neo both trading. Rain Lily missing as well. That's going to be big advantage towards Malaysia as we're getting towards the end of this map.
Yeah, the Panas really get super abrasive here, but like there's still one substantial score that we're seeing here. Just pay this no mind pretty much.
I want to see this ratio because that was like a 99.85 at one point from Chiwi. That's about a is that a 1 to 10? No, 1 to 6 ratio. 13 200s.
Yeah, Chiwi kind of tanking some accuracy near the end, but Like not enough to break that whole combo, however.
Yeah, Rain Lily close behind with a very strong score of their own, but just Japan as a whole not able to make up the difference that Chiwi is making.
Now again, it'll be Team Malaysia's turn to pick.
Malaysia still has 2 more hybrids if they want to go to it. They still have 4 more LN picks. They want to go for those. It's going to be the hybrid, it looks like.
Maybe trying to exhaust that for the most part. Maybe going for the full hybrid. Actually, I think we could call it tic-tac-toe for the meantime.
Connect 3 down the bottom there. And this is one that was actually banned against Malaysia from China, so we haven't seen Malaysia's scores on this one just yet, but Malaysia do know Japan's, so they do have the information. They would be confident that they can beat this then if they're picking it so early in the match.
Well, anyways, while we're still in a very short break in the... Okay, they're going for the MP settings. I won't do what I did last night. Well, anyways, here we go with Hybrid 2.
Another one of these hybrid ones. This one's a bit longer, 3 minutes long, so the accuracy is going to play an important factor here, and we have seen Malaysia has been very strong so far in the accuracy department. We'll see if Japan can keep up in this pick.
Really depends also on that latter half of this chart as well, where everything just picks up in density and abrasiveness, which again, like most of these charts, do follow that theory pretty much. Anyways, here we go with some of the opening patterns done. Malaysia with the early act advantage. Both Japanese players also carrying above 99% and still within striking distance.
Yeah, we do kind of expect at this point Malaysia is going to have a bit of an accuracy advantage, so Japan, they're going to want to keep the combos, but Ensana's going to be the first miss. That's going to give Malaysia a bit more of an advantage.
A bit unfortunate there for Ensana, but the good thing is that we are approaching the densest part of the chart. Neo finding a drop before that even hit. Japan holding on very well to their combos. Unfortunately, Ensana saying otherwise. Kiwi with that phenomenal high aqua combo still. Neo finding yet another drop. Koichi dropping their own.
That's the full combos from Japan gone. Chiwi, the only full combo in the lobby once again. Ensana finding another miss. And this lead is growing steadily. All 3 players once again missing. That's 2 for Japan and only 1 for Malaysia though. So Malaysia are going to grow their lead even further.
Second break section here. Kiwi holding on very well. Literally and figuratively. Neo actually having a better accuracy over both Japanese players.
Yeah, Neo, Koichi, and Ensana, all 3 of them were slowly kind of decreasing their accuracies over time, so that just kind of extended the lead even further, given that Chiwi just hasn't been dropping.
Yeah, and we're about to enter the second intense section in this chart. No one phased by those chord streams. Neo finding 2 drops early in the section, and Sana trading one of them. It's a fairly clean drop from Neo though.
We're approaching the last quarter. Right here, Japan are going to have to hold on to their combos, but both of them missing. Right as I say that.
And finding another set of a team drop, pretty much a team wipe across the board for Japan. Kiwi just being Kiwi. Neo finding yet another drop, but I don't think any drops from this point even matter unless like there's some massive breakdown somewhere.
I think the damage just at this point has been done. Combo's now recovered from Japan, but it just seems like there's not really enough time to recover from this point lead, especially when the accuracy difference is this wide now. Chiwi still on the full combo, and he's going to get another one.
Let's see how... Only 2 100s, but a phenomenal full combo there from Chiwi.
989k. Not bad.
Yeah. Welcome guys to the Oceania 7K World Cup 2023 group stage featuring Kiwi.
Yep. Just gonna say, by the way, Chiwi's FC the last 3 maps in a row, and the first map he got 1 miss. He has missed once in 4 maps.
Yup.
That's not a finals map pool performance. That, like you said, that's a group stage map pool performance. That's before round of 16 performance.
Ooh, Japan opening the LN pools here, and we haven't seen a score from Japan on this one. So we'll see what Malaysia is capable of on this.
This is a very interesting pick. This one was banned against Japan, I believe. But so far in this tournament, LN has definitely not been Japan's strongest point. And Malaysia, we know, are very capable at LNs overall. We'll have to see how this goes out. Maybe when the LNs get this hard, Japan is able to hold on to the combo. And if they can hold on to the combo long enough, maybe hope for some misses on Malaysia's side. This could work out.
We'll have to see though if these alternating hand LN patterns are going to be tripping up any of the Malaysian players. At least that's what I would think Japan would be hoping for on this pick.
Yeah, this one definitely extremely hard map to be able to just hold on in terms of combo and accuracy in general.
Here we go with that first set of patterns here. Super close scores here. Neo finding the first drop. So Japan, for the first time in this match, actually comfortably in the lead for like quite a decent amount of time.
And actually, we see the accuracy lead is not very far in favor of Malaysia either. Chiwi is being matched by Ensana right now. Manjo Koishi finds a miss, and that's actually going to give the advantage back to Malaysia.
And finding 2 consecutive misses in actually for Manjo Koishi. So Malaysia finding the lead on their end this time around. But there's still quite a lot of chart remaining. Japan just needs to continue with what they're doing, I would think, and maybe hope for some lapses on the Malaysian side.
Yeah, but this is definitely much closer as far as the accuracy goes. Still a couple of misses for Japan, 1 miss for Malaysia. They're fairly close in the miss count. Accuracy, Manjo Koishi finds another miss. Ensana finding a miss now. And that's a big act drop as well on Ensana's side.
Oh, Chiwi dropping their full combo. It's Neo pretty much the only substantial combo here, and if I do remember correctly, Neo was actually the one who was struggling in the Malaysian side on this very specific chart. But this time around, they're actually carrying the combo game this time around.
Yeah, combo and the ACK as well. Neo with the highest ACK in the lobby by a fair amount as well. But Japan are not too far behind. We still have just under half the map left. And if Manjo Koishi can just raise the accuracy back up a little bit to close to 99%, this could be fairly close in the accuracy department.
Well, this break section is an opportunity to get to that point, but not really that much of an act game from Koishi, and unfortunately finding a drop. Neo dropping their substantial combo here. Chiwi and Ensana trying to run with what they have right now. Chiwi, the second best accuracy. Neo with that accuracy advantage over all of these players in the lobby. Koishi finding yet another drop.
It seems like Malaysia just in general has stabilized since that start of the map with the few mistakes that we saw, and the accuracy from Chiwi is rising over time. This ACK lead is growing larger and larger in favor of Team Malaysia.
Well, Japan needs to find the reply at some point. Neo dropping their substantial combo in the end, but that won't matter. That is a very dominant performance there from Malaysia.
It was looking pretty good for Japan in the first half, though. They did hold it very close for a very long time, but just both of the Malaysian players holding on longer combos for a longer amount of time and raising that accuracy up higher. It is going to be 5 points in a row for Malaysia, 5-0, and Malaysia get the next pick as well.
Also, just noting, look how consistent the Malaysian scores are. Only 207 points, if my math isn't failing me, between Chiwi and Neo.
Definitely a close one there, but it's going to be an interesting pick right away from Malaysia, actually. So Malaysia have been winning on all of these hybrids, the LN pick, but they're going to go straight back to Rice. We're going to be seeing a Chord Stream pick for the first time here, and it's going to be Freedom Dive, Rain Lily in, of course, for this one.
Oh boy. Well, Japan going for the picks that they are usually expected to touch. If I remember correctly, this wasn't even played on that US match earlier today, but on that Malaysia-China match, on the other hand, we did see Chiwi getting a group stage score.
Yeah, Chiwi is out of his mind on these Chord Stream picks. We've seen some absurd scores from him, but I'm a little bit confused by this pick because as good as Chiwi is overall, I do think Rain Lily can score quite high as well and almost, kind of match Chiwi, or at least reduce that lead that Chiwi will give Malaysia. So I think if, Maingel Koishi and Rain Lily can hold on to the combos, this could be a close one for Japan.
Yeah, if there's anyone that is capable of playing this as well as Chiwi, that would be Rain Lily and Neo finding a very early drop. So the theory here would be this might be more of a Neo versus Maingel Koishi battle. Because you would be expecting Chiwi and Rain Lily pretty much doing a lot of the legwork here.
But right now, a little bit of a better start for Chiwi here, and the Malaysian accuracy, it's going to give them a little bit of an advantage despite the really early miss from Neo. Of course, the miss was in the first 100 combo or so it's not going to matter a whole lot in terms of score. The accuracy is what's really going to do it here.
We are noting that Neo has higher accuracy than both Japanese players at the moment. Rain Lily, unfortunately, finding a drop here, and that would be pretty substantial. Maingel Koishi and actually Japan in general having a team wipe of their combos. Chiwi, Big Chiwi, Neo, unfortunately finding a drop.
Rain Lily finding another miss. The accuracy still in favor of Malaysia. Maingel Koishi and Neo, both with very similar accuracies. But right now, it's this, Chiwi difference. Once again, 99.87.
Neo isn't even doing bad. They're 99.5. And Malaysia is just pulling ahead.
Yeah, it's only been really the one miss. One or two misses from Neo. That's been the entire amount of mistakes from Malaysia. This accuracy is extremely strong from both players. And of course, Chiwi's still holding the FC, the only one in the lobby. This lead is slowly growing wider and wider. Japan have to hope for some mistakes, and Neo does catch a miss there. A little bit of an act drop.
Ooh, make that two act drops actually pretty messy. They're dropping Neo to 99.25 as we enter the densest part of this chart. Rain Lily unfortunately dropping their combo twice. Koichi finding two consecutive drops as well. Chiwi just,
And the combos, they're gone for Japan. There is no way they can capitalize on any mistakes from Malaysia now. And it's just too little too late here. Chiwi does find a miss at the end, breaking that full combo, but it's not going to matter as far as the point goes. And 1-200. Wait.
Oh my gosh. Don't say those 2-4 and 2 that were from the ending as well.
I think all of those bad judgments were just from that one pattern at the end for Chiwi. That was like a 99.85 or so accuracy just before that ending.
Yeah. How consistent are you?
Yeah, that was going to be like a 994k, I think, with that mess up. That is just ridiculous. And that is also going to be Malaysia 6-0. They're already on match point here. Japan are on their last chance in this tournament. They have to win 6 in a row, which is a very tough feat.
Now, what are you going to do? How do you reply to that?
Was a Chord Stream pick being won by Malaysia overall in terms of consistency? It's going to be Cryonics. Okay, so Japan, they're doubling down on these LN picks.
Maybe trying to fish from these mistakes, but Japan has to be on form really for being this bold with their strategy.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that they're not picking something like Sentimental Surge, even though Malaysia did win the Chord Stream pick just then. Both teams did play Sentimental Surge, and I think Japan were only a couple thousand points behind Malaysia in terms of team score. That would be a very winnable pick, I would imagine. But here, we are going to be seeing Cryonics. We'll see how the LN density pick favors Japan in this one. And San are going to be switching in, of course.
No substitutions here for Malaysia. Malaysia have practically, like Kiwi and Neo have practically played what now? 7 plus 5, 12, 18 maps. Make that 19 just this weekend.
So here we go. One more point away Malaysia is from winning the match and securing top 3 in this tournament. Malaysia are going to look to start the comeback, but Ensana finds a very early miss.
That is not something if you want to mount a comeback, especially for the pick this short. Again, we're just like, what, 17 seconds above a TV size chart.
Yeah, definitely. Every single mistake matters here. We're seeing early lead definitely in favor of Malaysia. Even without that early miss, Ensana actually getting another miss. And this accuracy lead definitely in favor of Malaysia.
Neo and Kiwi pretty much just super consistent with their accuracies, pretty much. Koichi keeping up as well with at 99.3, and Sana being the only difference really between these two teams, and Malaysia just trying to pull just a bit more ahead, especially with another drop from Ensana. Here we go, final section of this chart pretty much. Malaysia really stretching that lead with their 2 full combos. Koichi with their still maintaining that full combo of their own, but man, if you're Japan right now, you should be hoping for a breakdown from both Malaysian players at this point.
And it's crazy that we still have 3 full combos this late on into the map. We're in the last quarter already, and I mean, there's not much you can do if Malaysia gets a double FC like this. Now that's 2 of them gone. Mind you, Koichi and Neo breaking the full combo, and Sana missing as well, but that just favors Malaysia.
Endings, and that's pretty much it. Malaysia will be sealing their ticket to the losers bracket finals and will be tangoing with South Korea next weekend with a sweep of Japan. Japan unfortunately having to say goodbye to the tournament, but what a formidable performance by them, securing 4th place in the tournament.
And Chiwi ending it off with a 4th FC out of 7 maps. Kind of insane. Kind of ridiculous. But congratulations to Malaysia. They do secure podium position top 3 in this tournament secured. And they will be going up next week to actually verse South Korea in the losers finals, which is a crazy matchup. Japan, of course, they're going to end up in 4th position, just barely missing out on that podium, but they've done ridiculously well so far. As I said before, 3 upset wins for Japan and a tiebreaker win thrown in there as well. So they've done fantastically well as well.
Well, congratulations to Malaysia. Like, as I mentioned, they are part of the top 3 of this tournament now, and if I am not mistaken, for the 2nd 7K World Cup in a row as well. So yeah, top 3 secured. It's just a matter of in what order it will be coming in.
Yep, definitely. We have this year a bit of a spicy setup for the Grand Finals weekend. It's going to be Philippines waiting in that winners bracket final, where South Korea being sent down to the losers bracket versus Malaysia to decide who gets that last ticket in the Grand Finals match. So those are going to be some ridiculous matchups next week, so you're going to want to make sure you stay tuned. But for now, we only have one last bit of stream for the weekend, and that's going to be in about half an hour, right on 12 UTC, I believe, is going to be when we will have the final map pool showcase of the tournament, showcasing that Grand Finals pool that these 3 teams will be playing next week.
Yeah, I mean, again, the Philippines securing top 2 immediately. Really just waiting for whether they are going to be seeing another match with Korea or another match with Malaysia, which we saw what happened during the semifinals. But again, harder pool, different circumstances, everything at stake.
yeah, we'll have to see who ends up winning because it's really anyone's game at this point. But make sure, stick around. We'll be back very shortly for that last map pool showcase. So until then, we'll see you next time.
Click.
Hello and welcome back to the Osimania 7K World Cup 2023. We have one more thing to do this weekend, and that is indeed reveal the grand finals map pool to everyone, including to us spectators and also the players, obviously. I am SirQ85, and joining me in this very final map pool showcase this year in this World Cup, one of the map pool selectors, legendary Osimania player Jinjin.
Yay! Hello, Surf. I am definitely not a legendary player, but yeah, it's been a very exciting journey so far. But now that the finals week is over, it's the moment that everyone's been waiting for, the Grand Finals Map Pool Showcase. So we've had some extremely good matches so far in the finals week, and maybe even seeing some historic upsets. But now we're here to reveal the Grand Finals Map Pool, which contains some very formidable charts. Anything to add before we begin, Surf?
Well, if anything, like I already saw the pools a few hours before the showcase even started. Actually, a few days even. And let's just say the players are going to be needing a few more practice sessions on this pool compared to what we've seen the rest of the previous weekends in this tournament. But anyways, let us kick things off with the first Rice pick.
Yep, so let's get right into it. The first pick is going to be our Rice Speed pick. This is Craft by Rokina. So this is going to be our speed pick coming in at 999 BPM. It does contain some short 999 BPM bursts here and there. It's going to max out later at 1248 BPM bursts. But for now, the intro section is mostly 500 BPM streams.
Well, you did mention that it will be maintaining most of that 500 BPM thing as well. So this is that kind of territory where, like, I would already start considering playing them like chords, but then you see this delay section here. There's suddenly like brackets, but there's still streams.
Yeah, it's just really fast. As you can see here, we do have like non-streamy parts here and there, but that part that you just saw had some over 1000 BPM bursts. So there's that. We have a little bit of break section here now.
And then coming in a few moments as well will be the main highlight of this chart. Well, we're just a few moments from there.
Yep, we're gonna have this really fast 666 BPM rolls coming in soon.
And there you go. Definitely a lot of misses if no one's prepared for those rolls. Going into the densest part of the chart, I would mention. And it's basically just everything is pretty much relentless from that point onwards.
Yeah, the ending is also going to be one of the hardest parts of the chart because of all those abrasive speed bursts again. But this is a relatively short map, so yeah, we're already done with the map here.
Now moving on to our next pick, this will be the LN Consistency pick. This is Digital Life Hacker. A chart by, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the pre-existing charts this edited for this Mania World Cup. And there's a lot of special patterns here in this thing, but let's just mention that this is leaning more towards like it plays more of like one of your conventional LN density picks in the earlier pools, albeit a bit denser, obviously.
Yeah, we just saw one of the LN arts here, and here too. So we are going to see a lot of those long note art patterns here and then in this map. We just saw the LN spell out 1, 2, 3, and then eco at the end. But yeah, later on we're also going to see another LN art here, which features some consecutive heart delay patterns. So pay attention to that.
Yeah, the LN arts do follow basically what the lyrics are in this very cute track.
Yeah, and also people in the chat are saying that this was VTuber. To clear this up, Wotoha used to be a VTuber, I think a few years ago, but then they have rebranded themselves and quit the VTuber status. So I guess you can kind of say this is half VTuber, but also not really VTuber.
And this is, let's mention again, this is the LN consistency pick, so this is a fairly long pick relative to the rest of the pool. But you do notice, like, it's just a tad bit, I mean, not a tad bit, it's like very abrasive compared to what we had last time around, which was, I would think, Virtual to Live.
Yeah, so we do see more court streamy like patterns, but we also see a lot of shields here and there. And so this is going to be just testing all those kinds of different long note O2 jammy patterns. So yeah, this is the LN5, if I add, in our pick.
This pattern here is deceivingly. It looks easy relative to the entire chart, but it's like, it's super hard, especially with that basically these release gaps are super tight, and you're practically doing reverse shields as well.
Okay, here comes the heart patterns.
Yep, 4 hearts.
The 4 hearts for that Aishiteru in the lyrics. Lovely.
Very lovely indeed.
I just see a lot of shields here and there in this map, so definitely want to brush up on those shield skills. If you're and this ending pattern is just
It's Penguin again?
not really Penguin, but they have some like chord mash stuff.
Oh, there you go. Anyways, that's the second pick in this pool.
Yeah, so next up, our third map is going to be our first hybrid pick. This is Rabbit House and Evan AK Optimal Solution. Fun fact, Rabbit House is the mapper for the infamous Freedom Dive map set in Standard, but now an OSU featured artist. So yeah, this is going to have a lot of generic Rice kind of stuff that you see here, like the Rice chord streams and some of the Rice delay bursts in the intro, but we're going to get into some of the LN sections later on.
Yeah, this is like, I would say, if there's any of the hybrids that are really super straightforward, this is again one. This is probably one of them. Really, here we go. As you mentioned, this super dense LN section. We're seeing basically densities that practically just hit what we see also in the LN pool, and then some speed sections as well, just thrown in there.
Yeah, the speed sections are mostly just theory patterns, and as you saw there, we do have some kind of long note inverse kind of sections. And so the long note sections in this map are mostly reminiscent of the things that you would normally see in a long note density pick. Here is a small slight break section, where the long note melody, the long note patterns follow the piano mostly. Yep, here we reached the end of the break section again, and then going back to the second half of the map, which is going to again go into those dense Rice delay stereo burst things, and then back to a long note kind of pattern.
It's super easy to mess up that transition right there. It's also going to the LNs, and it's so easy to rush, as we've just seen in this replay.
Yeah, even though this is a hybrid pick, you do see, I mean, looking at the replayer name, this is quite Rice heavy, so it might be slightly more advantageous to the Rice-oriented map, the Rice-oriented players, but also the long note difficulty here is not trivial either, so might be balanced out, I guess, for any of the teams who are either Rice or long note focused.
Now, up next is quite a favorite song among all 7K plus VSRG players. We have Flawn featuring Flawn Raspberry Reels, Love and Justice. Unfortunately, though, we are not going to be seeing the funny dancing girl in the background this time around. But anyways, as you would expect, this is a chord stream pick, and this is the primary, like, the super dense chord stream pick in this pool, which is going to be analogous to Sentimental Surge, albeit basically half its length.
Yep, basically 200 BPM dense chord streams, so very famous song in the BMS community and also in the 7-key community. So this chart, I made it to be, I guess, slightly more dense and more stamina draining than the Kaiden chart in the BMS version. So this has a total of 4,242 notes, it crammed into 2 minutes of drain time. But this is also going to be the remastered version of Love and Justice, so there is going to be a little bit of a guitar solo in the middle section, which you'll be seeing soon.
I do notice that like, it does align well with the BMS stuff as well, where the chord streams kind of like represent like some breaks in the action, but still like those chord tracks are kind of abrasive still. And then here we go, like just this super dense pattern really here. Like you see like 5-6 note chords in between these chord streams.
Yeah, and there are also some kind of little bit of bursts as appropriate from the music. So those bursts are quite fast, even though they're only 1/6 snaps. So just get ready to get through those too. And again here, more bursts, but they're all pretty starey, so it might not be as difficult as some people might expect. And we do have a bit of a just chord match section here. And then going back, so be careful not to rush stuff here or column lock. So that might potentially happen at this speed.
And that is Love and Justice. Again, unfortunately, we are not seeing the funny girl, dancing girl background.
Yeah, so that was the fourth pick. Our fifth map is going to be Wolpis Carter Batsubyo. This is going to be our long note coordination pick. So this time around, I guess this map is a bit of a more conventional long note map as a coordination. So I mean, we might not be seeing like automatic bans on long note coordination for grand finals, because this is more oriented to testing a lot of those finger independence from the heavy chord usage with various long note releases in the chorus.
But yeah, I do notice that yes, the type of coordination here really is different from what we've seen on the other rounds practically, but it's like this chart is that one chart where it's so hard to hold on still because you're bouncing around left, right, and center overall in this chart, which is a type of coordination that is so hard to implement. I mean, and even just go through.
Yeah, and maybe some players might have noticed, but this is also the cut version. So the original version, I think, was about 3 minutes, a bit over 3 minutes. But then the first course of that original map was quite easy, so we cut out the easy part. So now you guys are left with playing the hard sections of this map. So yay!
Yay indeed. Well, I'm pretty sure those who are going to be playing in the grand finals might be saying otherwise. And here we go, like a bit more of that density here. Like essentially, like you're just playing like what? It doesn't look like they're just playing chord jacks to me.
Yeah, this ending section is definitely going to be the hardest part, especially this chorus. So if you're not careful with your long note coordination abilities, you might actually this might even be a fail potential. Maybe not to the players who are playing in grand finals right now, but I mean, we might have a potential show match next week too, so maybe we'll get to see that with this map.
You're really dropping a hint right there.
I mean, we already had a show match for the finals map pool, so.
I mean, who's to say? I mean, I would want it.
Yeah.
But anyways, coming up with the next pick, we have the other chord stream pick, the faster but lighter chord stream. We have For All here. Well, this starts similar to Love and Justice. It does have a few breaks every here and there, but considering that, again, the speed here, like your stamina will always be tested in these faster chord stream picks. And also, again, the change in emphasis here. The other one is a bit more brackety. This is the one that's a bit more rolly, stairy that kind of chord stream, pretty much.
Yeah, so just testing your finger agility with these 245 BPM light chord streams, and a special shout out to the provider of this replay, Huge Senpai, who I guess most people already know who that is.
I actually never knew. Like, I remember somebody in the Maple selection server just explain who that is, but I don't know. I feel left out. But anyways, we see these, like, essentially this is very ruthless. I do notice that, like, the pattern here seems different from what we saw in Freedom Dive.
Yeah, it's, I guess, a bit more straightforward, but that's also kind of inevitable because of that extremely high BPM. If we did have those kind of Freedom Dive density at this BPM, that might be too hard even for the Grand Finals map pool. But here we have a small break section, and we go back to a more dense ending here, and the ending chorus is going to be extremely dense. As you can see here already, it's quite dense.
Yeah, and a bit more emphasis really on the chords here. Also, that ladder is so evil.
Yeah, that's just evil. And this part is also pretty evil. This 4-note, 2-note theory section.
And that is For All the marbles here for the teams playing in this Grand Finals weekend.
Yep. So for the 7th pick, we do have something special again. Would you like to introduce us?
Well, this is the 4th OSU original track made for this Mania 7K World Cup. Just waiting for the animation. We have Samstring's Ataraxia, a collaboration between Remmering and Jinjin, and this will be the LN density pick of this pool. Obviously, with the other custom tracks in this pool, we'll stay quiet and let you guys enjoy the sound. Enjoy the music, I mean. And that is the OSO original. OSO original for the MWC7K 2023, the fourth one. Sorry, Jen, about that interjection. We have Sanstring's Ataraxia again. This is a collaboration between two of the Maple selectors, Remmering and Jinjin. And I'll give it to Jinjin to explain what this chart is.
Yep, it's just going to be a very straightforward long note density map, and probably going to be one of the easiest long note picks for this stage. So I guess we'll potentially see this getting picked a lot in next week. So yeah, very like chord streamy long notes. Does still have some long note coordination factors here and there. So make sure to hold on to those long notes to not miss. So that was our 7th pick. Next up is going to be our 8th pick, which is our chord jack pick. Sysphonics, the Azure box, mapped by PWHK. This is just 140 BPM chord jacks. So same BPM as the chord jack map in the finals, but this is going to be much more difficult in terms of patterning.
I do notice that again. Yeah, there has been a pattern really. Like we had like anchory, then spread out, then go back to anchory, then spread out. Now this is leaning more towards the anchory side again, but the anchors here are super spread out, which is kind of a combination really of what we've seen, like the types of chord jacks that we've seen the entire pool for this entire World Cup.
Yeah, the first half is going to be some more, I guess, a bit of a comfortably spaced out anchored chord jacks. And this is quite like reminiscent of very old school BMS-like patterning. So going with having strict adherence to the instrumental layering and some note placements that might look a bit random. But here is the break section, which is kind of, I guess, unique for a rice map because the break section is full of long notes, albeit it's very simple. So, yeah,
it's just 2 long notes every single time. It shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see situations where someone misses on that break section. But anyways, we're here at the second half of the map, and here is where things start to get a bit more intense with the chord density usage. So definitely watch out for your chord jacks.
Yeah, the increase in density really, and here's like a few more prevalent anchors here as well in these chord jacks. And I like definitely if you already struggle with the finals pool, I'm pretty sure this is something that you might want to avoid.
Just a note, I got a 98% on the finals chord jack map, and for this, I only get like a 86%. So there's like a 12% difference in accuracy.
Yeah, it's either like I think this is a lesson really for those who are seeing chord jacks on 7K for the first time. The difference between playable and impossible is either 5 BPM or one additional note per chord.
Yep. So that was the 8th map. You can introduce the 9th map for us.
Now we have our second hybrid pick, which is Citra's Mononoke, a chart by Remmering, and now similar to the second hybrid from the previous pool, this is a bit more on the steady patterns, and you'll be also seeing a bit more of the jacks as well. If anyone would notice later on, this chart is actually pretty rice oriented than the other 2 hybrids that we'll be seeing in the pool. One of them will be shown later if I am not losing track of my list here.
Yep, that's true.
Here we go. Some of these ricey patterns here again, very reminiscent of like your regular speed picks.
Yeah, just a lot of stary delay patterns and jacks here and there. So, as Surf said, this is a more rice-oriented hybrid map compared to the other 2 hybrid maps. So definitely more favored towards the rice-oriented teams. But we do see some LN usage here and there too. So just watch out for those. And yeah, very difficult stary patterning at times.
Now a short break section here where like there are a few bursts here that might trip up players who let up. But again, it's still a break section really, like quite fitting, especially that the density is starting to pick up. Like we're already seeing a few hits of like 7-note chords, and here we go with this build up.
Yeah, back to the drop, and we do have more of those delay stary patterns and the jacks, but with a bit more long note layering here and there. So basically the same thing that you saw in the first half, but a bit more upgraded version. And here we have a more long note wall section with more fast delay streams.
I do notice here that the LNs do kind of follow basically what the Rice has been doing the entire time. If there's a delay like pattern in the Rice, you'll expect like there might be something like a delay as well for the LNs. And also that transition there right there is so evil.
Yeah, and then the ending is also just a full long note inverse, but the difficulty isn't that high, so players are probably not going to be tripping up that part. But with that was the 9th pick and 10th pick. Next one, this is, oh my god, this one, it's our 5th Rice pick, and this is going to be our tech pick, and arguably going to be one of the hardest Rice maps in this pool, given the sheer intensity and rigidity of the patterning, as you saw. I have, I think this is the only A rank replay for the Grand Finals map showcase. But yeah, star rating of 6.9, and OD and HP matches that too, for some reason. But
it's a very nice setting.
Yeah, the patterning is just we'll let you see for yourself what the patterning looks like.
I think this is like one of those tech picks where the music sounds exactly what the chart looks like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and a brief comment from me. This map is harder than Ka from last year. So Ka was the tech pick from last year's MWC, but this one is much harder than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, like when I saw this for the first time, first things first, nice Rice art. Second, I don't understand. I understand the music. I don't understand the chart at all. It's not wacky. We had Melan. We had I'm Kidding. We had like the other tech picks as well. This just takes the cake.
Yeah, this is just everything. All sorts of tech patterns coming in directly at your face. So we have a small break section here, but when the break section ends, we're going to have another set of just really weird jack patterning. And that's going to be more questionable, I guess, than the first half. So you'll get to see soon what that looks like.
Yeah, those long jacks already give you a taste of what those are.
Yeah. This is it's just a really evil chart.
Like, I don't know if... I don't know if this is the right assessment. It's either the music was made for this chart or the chart really just illustrates what the music is.
Yeah, so honestly, this is going to be an extremely risky pick for any team, I guess, that comes by. It's really just gonna come down to which players will miss less, honestly. I don't see this getting anywhere near full comboed.
Oh man, if anyone full combos this, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, and this is definitely not a 6-star map. It's more like a 9-star map, honestly.
Like, I don't even think playing this on halftime would... I don't even playing this on halftime would decrease the difficulty of this one.
Yeah, so that was our 10th pick. You can introduce us to the 11th pick.
Polish's ultimate weapon, a chart by Ruka. Well, a chart by it's listed as a collaboration as well with Tang Doll. And as you notice, this is a cut version from the track. And also, just to note, this is the primary mixed LN pick, so this is LN4. Intro pretty much starts with long holds accompanied by like a few streams that like just increase in density pretty much, as you are seeing here right now.
And so here we have the first drop, which mostly features like coordination long notes with like O2 Jam style 8-bit patterns. So it's going to require some precision and control to not lose accuracy. But we do have some burst and delay patterning here and there for the bridge section. And a small break section here.
Yeah, break section then just transitions it just throws you back to that dense patterning here. And also this part here is so evil, like the hits on the percussion pretty much. Like it's basically going the shields into more of these pretty tricky LN streams.
Yeah, just a lot of shield usage here and there in this section, and then the main melody also follows like a lot of sort of unorthodox snapping and also 1/8 reverse shields to confuse player reading and accuracy. And this is, so yeah, just very difficult chart overall. Just all common long note patterns that you see squeezed into one single map.
We're about to enter practically the other part of this chart. This break section here, it doesn't look like a break at all, especially with these patterns are super abrasive. Even though the simplicity says otherwise.
Yeah, and so we go back to that kind of dense long note density like chord stream pattern here, but you see those really short long notes. So some long notes here are going to be extremely easy to chain miss. And later we see these full long note patterns, but some with some manageable double stream patterns. And yeah, this is the end of the map, which is just the outro.
That ends LN4.
That was the 11th map. Our 12th map is going to be our mixed rice pick. This is Mukishitsu Sekai ni Irudorio, a map by evening on 1.2 rate. So this is going to be 186 BPM. This is also the shortest map in our pool, an extremely short map with about 1 minute and 20 seconds of drain time. So this is going to basically be an extremely risky pick because a single miss can probably be very detrimental.
Well, being the mixed rice pick here, we do it's very different from what we saw from Crosscode. If I said the title correctly from the previous pool, like this really is a bit more technical, pretty much, than what we saw with the more straightforward mixed rice pick from the previous pool.
Yeah, so the beginning of that section started out with some mini jacks, and then we had this sort of a jack plus chord string combination followed by a set of dense bursts. And we go back to the second half here, which goes back to those kinds of chord stream plus jacks. And then a bit of those bursty stairs here and there. And then this ending is going to have that very hard section to nail down to. So here we have that, this big giant burst. So as long as you're done with that part, then we just go get to the outro of the map. So this is just a really short but deadly pick, in my opinion.
Yeah. Also, just to notice, like similar to what we saw from Cryonics on the LN pool from the finals week, like that ending is considerably lighter than the rest of the chart, where it might be a problem for a few players to let up on that part. And we almost saw quite a heart attack on one of the matches last time around when the density of a chart just dropped off massively in the end and basically lost all the focus at that point. But anyways, up next is SDM&E's Beyond the Axis, a chart by Liju.
Yeah, so Liju strikes again with a very difficult map, and so yeah, as you can see there, the star rating for this is almost close to 14 stars. But anyways, we also would like to give a shout out to the composer of this song, SDM&E. Might be in the chat right now, who knows, but thanks for who gladly provided Liju with the permission to use this song and also provided us with the cut version. So this is just going to be 240 BPM dense streams here and there, which makes this chart, I guess, the most technically demanding out of all the hybrid charts.
And it's also, in addition, really this being high BPM in general. We do have to note that, like, if I'm not mistaken, this is that one pick in the pool where it took so many revisions, and those revisions weren't exactly like patterning revisions, it's most like nerfing revisions.
Yeah, it just had to be nerfed several times before we could get to this final version because, quote unquote, I guess Liju said that the original version, when play tested, was like almost Zenith Dan in terms of difficulty. But we do have a very god tier replay here provided by, I guess, another shout outs to Han Jae-hoon, the provider of replay for this pool or for this map.
Also, this pattern is so evil. Even at slower BPM, how much more on this? Essentially, like a ladder chord jack.
Yeah, even the break section doesn't look that easy. But yeah, even though this is our hybrid 3 pick, it's almost like a mini tiebreaker almost, just from the sheer amount of variations in the patterns. And this part, yeah, back to all those dense 240 BPM patterns.
And yet another one of these short break sections. Again, a bit more lighter than the other break sections we had, but like lighter means a bit more of an ominous sign considering the what's left in the chart. And we're already seeing like this chord jack transition, so easy to rush on. Also 1/8 gap mini jack at the spacebar.
Yeah, those patterns are unforgiving. And here we have that long note section, these long note density kind of streams with all the different snaps, which accounts for that high star rating here. Nonetheless, this is a very hard chart.
Liju just really makes some very beautiful hard charts. Also, that's a very beautiful pattern.
Yeah, we do see those kinds of patterns here and there in this map. And back to that very dense long note pattern, and back to Rice. And back to that beautiful pattern again.
The funny thing is that usually on 7K tournaments, especially once they get to this stage, the teams or any player in general would essentially pick the hardest stuff very early.
And then that ending was also really, really dense. So I guess the ending is going to be the hardest part, I should add.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure like if any team is going to be opening with this one in a match, I salute your bravery.
Yeah, so with that ends our 13th pick. Our next pick is going to be our long mixed rice pick, RC7, a map by Wonky. This is From's Ultra Blazers, appropriately length of 4 minutes and 20 seconds. But yeah, this is just long mixed rice pick. What is that BPM? It goes up to 1344 BPM. But yeah, there is a really fast speed up section in the middle that you'll see later. But it starts out being quite nice and easy for a good 1 minute, I guess.
Only for that minute, because once all the notes start falling down, it just won't stop.
Yeah, so just enjoy the very easy part while you can. This small, easy intro section. But the map will start to pick up soon.
You really want to pick up the accuracy very early on, because like it's so easy to get these drops here and there. Once everything really picks up, there you go. It's already starting to build up to that density.
This song also uses a lot of, I guess, Undertale samples, sound samples.
Yeah, I think
yeah, you can hear a lot of those. Oh, sorry for interrupting you all the time, but yes, you can just hear all those like Undertale samples here and there.
I just remember noticing like the Sans laugh like or something like that.
Indeed. But here we come to the beginning of the middle section where the patterns start to become a bit more difficult, albeit still being more manageable. But yeah, we have a little bit of a speed up section here, and here is where things start to get a bit more serious with the density pickup and all those jacks and delay patterns, sort of the things that you'd see in a typical long mixed rice pick.
Yeah, though I do notice, like, despite really the abrasiveness of this chart, again, like being one of the longer picks, the pattern here is considerably lighter than what we've seen pretty much.
Yeah, lighter indeed, and also it's, I guess, on the easier side too. We normally try to pick the long mixed picks, the long picks, to be a bit more testing those consistency aspects, so we don't make it as difficult as the things that you see in other rice pools. But yeah, this part gets a bit difficult here with all those jacks and stary jacks.
And some trills also, chord trills just thrown here and there. And that's still like, what, 2/3 of the chart. There's still the final third.
Yeah, so we have entered into this very small break section, but once this break section ends, we're going to go into that speed up, as mentioned and shown in that BPM. But once that BPM change happens from the speed up, we go up to, I think it's a 224 BPM dense right section.
Yep, here we go.
Yeah, so this part is going to be the part that's the hardest for this map, at least. So yeah, just very dense or intense chord layering here, like seeing a lot of 6-note chords and 5-note chords here and there, and these very fast, light chord streams.
I kind of noticed, like, they just go into one direction, then go the other, and then suddenly go symmetric, as we've seen here, double stare to that delay. It just won't let up at this point.
Yeah, just snaky patterns and all those delays, so this ending is definitely the hardest part. Just really difficult and dense.
And there you go. The final rice pick in this pool. And up next, we'll take just a sweet time. Someone has noticed, like, we kind of skip like the Ellen release pick. Like, we usually put them at the very, very early on in the showcases. There's a very special reason why we did that. I won't say the title, I won't say the artist. Here it is.
This is not the tiebreaker, by the way. This is the last song before the tiebreaker. So we'll let you enjoy this.
Yup, this is Camelia's first song of 2023. Camelia's cover of Never Give Up, Never Gonna Give You Up. Everybody just got rickrolled.
Yeah, so this is going to be our long note release pick, our LN1, the last map before the tiebreaker. But yeah, it's Camellia Never Gonna Give You Up, and we all ended up becoming rickrolled. So this is a collab between Wako, Liju, Kobe, and Ruka. And it's a release pick, but it basically has a bit of everything, I'd say. Like these kind of LN density stuff, some kind of LN coordination here and there. So yeah, just very dense LN release.
Now, just to note, for those who are hearing this Camelia's arrangement of this for the very first time, yes, this is actually Camelia singing the song.
Yeah, what a beautiful voice.
Very beautiful indeed, and like the patterning here really fits. Also, just to give everyone a few more history about this chart, essentially the call to chart this thing has been made literally, I think it was like around what, quarterfinals weekend? Or was it round 16 weekend? Like legit like a few hours after this one was revealed. So and this is what you're seeing right now. Very abrasive releases here, obviously.
Yeah, this map was something that was planned by these collab mappers for a while, as you've said. But we do see those kinds of some shields and long node inverses and a small break section that has vocal mappings, vocal delays.
Vocal delays are so beautiful when pulled off very well.
I could see a lot of Twitch chat memes whenever this song gets picked during the matches. And what is that pattern?
Oh yeah, a very beautiful transition going into the final quarter of the chart. And here's the thing about this pick. Like, considering the density here, this might actually be one of the favorite picks in this entire pool. So, to Team Malaysia, Philippines, and South Korea, and the teams that might be formed if there's any show match, please pick this. You have the right to, rickroll Twitch chat every match. Thank you very much.
But yeah, that was the end of basically the end of our last non-tiebreaker pick. So is there? Yeah.
now
it's
we'll
just
take our sweet time.
It's just the tiebreaker left. So is there anything that we have to say? I guess should we say anything about it before going into the tiebreaker?
Well, that tiebreaker, but like some World Cup tiebreakers have always been there's a history of it being super special in a way, either just because of the song, either just because of chart, or basically like how it plays in a match. And I am so happy that like when you guys revealed this to us playtesters and custom mappers in the map pooling server, I was so happy because I actually called who the artist is. But since you're in the map pool selection team, I think it's for the best that I let you be the one to introduce the grand finals tiebreaker for this Oceania 7K World Cup.
All right. So without further ado, here is our grand finals map pool tiebreaker. Katagiri's Kyuko. So there it was, a 5 minutes and 35-minute run of our very glorious tiebreaker pick. Again, Katagiri Kyuko. This was a collab between the 5 map pullers, Underjoy, Maple, Blocko, Remuring, and myself. And a short trivia. This map has a total of 9,999 notes. And out of those 9,999 notes, 3,333 of them are long notes, and the other 6,666 are regular notes.
And just to note, this star rating, again, at 12.34 is actually lower than one of the regular picks, but obviously this is way harder than the other regular picks, obviously. And would it be right to say that this might actually be harder than what we had last year?
Yeah, this is definitely a lot harder than Duplicity Shade from last year. So Duplicity Shade was more like had most of its difficulty at the ending part, but this one is just difficult throughout. So it's definitely going to be extremely hard for even for many of the top players, and even the player who gave us this replay, Han Jae-hoon, is also a very respected, like top 10, I think, in Mania. So that just goes to show how difficult this map is going to be. But yeah, so with that, we conclude the last Maple showcase of the 7 Key Mania World Cup. Big thanks to everyone who tuned in, and hopefully the entire journey was exciting for you guys as it has been for us. This World Cup could not have been possible without the help of our amazing custom mappers and playtesters, and also the players themselves who gave us some critical feedback on the map pool. Would you like to say anything as one of the mappers for this Mania World Cup, Surf?
Well, I hope I'm not missing a few names here, but I would like to give a shout out to Critical Star, Lenpai, Crim God, Kobe, Lee Ju, Level 51, Maxa, Paradoxus, Paul Kappa, PWHK, Wonky, the playtesters Koro, Roko, No Name, Luca, for being part of this team. I hope I did not miss any names. Obviously, I didn't say myself, but like, wow. I am honestly thankful for being part of this process, even with last year's World Cup as well. And it's been super fun working with you guys with these map pools. Hopefully we could do the same yet again next year. But for now, I would really like to wish good luck to the remaining teams in this World Cup.
Yeah, so thank you to everyone. But of course, we still have one more week of exciting matches to go through. So stay tuned until next week when we return with the grand final matches. Is there anything to add before signing off?
Well, I might as well mention what matchups are going to be waiting for us next week. And in the losers bracket final, we will have South Korea facing against Malaysia. And waiting for the winner of that match with a twice-to-beat advantage will be Team Philippines. And might as well plug the Osamania 7K World Cup 2023 team support banners are still up on the OSU store. If you'd like to support any of the teams in the World Cup or show support to any team, any country in particular that you just admire their Osamania for, feel free to purchase them. And obviously there's also the Open Collective Initiative, which was started last year to help increase the prize pools. I mean, you saw what maps, what no charts the players are going to be suffering for the final weekend of this World Cup, and they really deserve all of the support they get with the prize pool. And that's everything for this stream, this Maple show, this Grand Finals Maple Showcase. Again, this is Surf285 alongside with me in the booth, one of the Maple selectors, Jin. See you guys next week.
Yep, see you guys next week.